is very exciting. Let's see if this works.
That's gonna be great.
I'm watching a progress bar move. My earlier testing after this. And look at that, it says we're live. All right. The only thing is there doesn't seem to be an ability to pause streaming. So if we stop, we stop. But other than that, welcome to Tactical Tuesday, April 20th. That's the other thing I should do. I should put the timestamp at the bottom. Oh, well, but it'll record exactly when it was posted. Is it going to be the day it's going to be? It's so, okay, exciting. So first update, testing, doing live stream to YouTube such that then archived there as opposed to in the cloud with Zoom, which it's then hidden in a link somewhere, which no one will ever find. So new workflow, trying that out. That being said, let's go ahead and do tactical updates. Michelle.
I do not recall. I made a Calendly thing for student things.
Exciting.
And I'm going to try to remember to check that. But I did put a note in the event that I made for students that says, like, message me on Teams, because that's the way you'll get this done. So, yes. And I think, oh, maybe this is tactical, putting up the motion to modify. Or maybe we need to schedule a like review for everybody, or like, I don't know, but what would be the next step for that? That may be tactical instead of stand up, so I don't know.
Which motion is this?
209A plaintiff's motion to modify.
Okay, yes, I remember now the discussion. Yeah, so did we get feedback from, I remember last you were waiting for feedback to do language, or actually I guess the call last time was the feedback. So you just implemented language and stuff from the last call. Yeah, so I think we need to, so has it gone through any testing, or is it, I'm just trying to remember that.
Sure, I mean, it's very simple, and I have tested, we have manually tested stuff, and I wrote a simple like happy path test for the interview as well.
So then I think we just get a final okay from Kate and or Caroline, and then we'll run it through Quentin and I again before we push out, and then we can push out.
All right, so I will install it on the test server.
I believe, yeah, that's the protocol, I believe. All right, cool.
Sounds good.
Bryce.
Also not much. At least not much tactical. Yeah.
All right.
I know
cool.
Maybe not as much tactical, but I know like David Quinton and I need to work on the
Pew stuff. Yeah, and we did get a template, or I got a template thing over yesterday, over the holiday, to flesh out. And so my intention was to, as I think I had expressed last week, look at that later today.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I remember that. I remember we had said we were gonna do something today, but
so I'll probably give that a pass either this afternoon or this evening, and then we'll have something for us to respond to tomorrow. And then the main thing is then hopefully we'll be able to go into Tuesday's meeting with Pew, having something to talk about. So that's, yeah, I think that's where that stands. All right, cool. Quentin.
Not much for me. I'm doing some work on the generic addendum. I just put in the pull request for that just right before this meeting. And I think that the CRA motion to dismiss CRA should be ready in the next couple of days. The addendum stuff is tied to that, so I'm just trying to get everything kind of done at the same time there.
Cool. All right. I had a call with Oh, anything else, Quentin?
Nope, that's it.
I had a call with Australia today with Mark, and what we're thinking is, well, so first a question for you, Quentin. You had mentioned there was an Australian volunteer who had popped up. Are
So
they
that was me.
No, that was Bryce.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bryce. Sorry.
Mhm.
Are they still interested in helping out?
I believe so. I mean, I brought it up on Friday, and I had chatted with her then, but I haven't talked to her yet. But yeah, at least she, like, on our call, she expressed like some interest in trying to help out. So
Well, so we can try to onboard them along with the summer cohort we're going to have in late May, early June. But also, it seems like the way we're going to work with Mark's group at funders is they're going to do a sort of they have like a not quite a service requirement, but something like a similar idea, where they're supposed to do so many hours with an agency, and normally they would sort of like spread it out over the semester, but we're going to try to do it just within July as like a targeted thing, so we can pilot everything and just work out the kinks, and especially along the logistics of working at these different time zones and such. And what that'll mean is Mark will be willing to sort of run some supervision at an Australian time zone thinking, and then we'll actually have to figure out the logistics. I know Michelle had said since you wake up early, you might be available for help every once in a while on something more accommodating to them. But the idea would basically be in July from like the 6th through like the 26th. There's like, well, more like the 6th through the 23rd. So like 2 weeks and some change. We'd have, and the way I talked to them, I thought it would be helpful if there are people in the same time zone. So it might be 2 people from Australia, so they could bounce off each other. There'd be people who had already done Mark's class, so they have some DACA symbol familiarity. And then, so our task is finding a properly scoped project for about 2 weeks and some change of 2 folks from Australia with some limited DACA symbol prior experience. So that was our thinking there, and the update. Quentin, did you want to?
Sounds awesome.
I can't tell because of the way the sound's working. Do you have something to add there?
I accidentally unmuted, but so what would be kind of the expectation on our side for what we're providing? Do we need to kind of like line up a form for them, or?
Yeah, I think what we need to do is we want to line up a form for them, give them a project that's scoped at about that right space, and then we can and then it'd be exactly how we navigate that. That's the thing we've got to figure out, is the logistics and everything. So I see it very much in keeping with what we'll be doing over the summer normally. And if there wasn't the time zone difference, I would say they'd just be folded in like anyone else into the assembly line. They'd just be working for this short burst. The one thing that makes me think that will actually be able to do something is they'll have a little background with DACA symbol, so they won't have to like ask like, what is DACA symbol? But of course, Mark was very much wanted to like caution, like they're not like, of course he said, they're not at Quentin's level. And I then say, well, no one's at Quentin's level except Quentin. But I think we could very easily onboard them to, if we gave them a well-defined form and said, work on this, that they'd be able to do that. And then I think that we'd be able to asynchronously work with them. The thing is, we'd want to think of a form that would work well asynchronously, which means not something that was going to require not something that we think would require a lot of synchronous subject matter expert contact. So something where the subject matter, either the expert or the subject itself, lended itself to asynchronous communications, to the extent that that's something that we can have some control over. So the nice thing is we have a bit of a runway between now and July to figure out what that properly scoped form would be, or project, or however we're going to conceptualize it. But the real idea here is, let's see if we can find a way to work with people on the other side of the world collaboratively on this project to move things forward. And I think we both of the institutions see it as a way to, foster a larger partnership going forward, such that we're all building, DocuSimple tools that people can use.
So, I mean, a thought, it sounds like what we're doing is we're making a Massachusetts-based form. Is it
Maybe working
possible
on.
is it possible to think maybe not now, maybe for the future, about a, Australia-based form? Because then
think if-
they would have access to their SMEs. and
Yeah, I
everybody.
think if they want to do something like that, then the real value add would be for them doing that sort of on their own, standing up their own assembly line. That's not where they're at right now. So absent having their own, so like with the folks working in Louisiana or Illinois, they have institutions that are going to be able to house and maintain those forms afterwards, right? So the difference here is they'd be working on something and then stepping away from it. So then it would stay in the assembly line. So the assembly line would provide the institutional home for the form. So I would be wary of creating something for them without
them having the
an infrastructure of
to
support.
maintain
Yeah,
that.
support. But
But by that token, it could be a form from Illinois or Louisiana that they work on.
Yes,
if
that's
Oregon
true.
had a form like that one.
That's true. Very good point. Very good point. All right. Well, so that's that. Any other Tactical Tuesday? This seems like a really low energy Tactical Tuesday. It was coming off of the long weekend. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this recording.